I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. Well, at least in contemporary terms, it is not. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? What is your perception of reality? Is it the ability to capture, process, and make sense of the information our senses receive? If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Or is it simply the ability to feel? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
Welcome to the era of synthetic reality. This shift to intelligence, it's a shift towards reality itself becoming synthetic, because when intelligence becomes synthetic, that intelligence can be put into anything to create anything. You just saw a photorealistic Morgan Freeman speaking about how that is not real. Now that looks as real can be. Today, the state of AI is that they've released ChatGPT to people, which is based on GPT-3, the large language model GPT-3. That language model existed 2 years ago. And these language models double in capacity every 3 months. So now GPT-4 is already in existence. It hasn't been released to the public, but the ability for AI to perform better and better, partially at being like humans and then eventually being way better than humans, is exponentially growing. So today we're going to look at a bunch of different ways to use that AI, use the different AIs that exist today to achieve many different tasks. And then we're going to look at a bunch of AI cryptos that already exist and discuss this possibility of which cryptos will exist in the future. But before we go into that, what is actually going on? What's going on is that the digital is coming to the physical. Virtual reality will create the ability for the physical to go into the digital. So effectively, we will have worlds that will exist within the digital space. Thank you, sir. And we will interact within those worlds as if we interact with each other now. Timeline, within 7 years. That will become the de facto way to interact with the world by 2030. Augmented reality is going to bring that world into this physical world. That's going to be the creepiest one, where we're all going to be wearing like glasses or something. That's going to allow us all to hallucinate the same reality in this world. Imagine no longer needing TVs because we can all see a TV. No longer needing any advertising or screens or laptops or phones. All of technology that we have in hard format today will be holograms that we all see. That is the idea of augmented reality. Now, when you combine that with artificial intelligence, that means intelligent, for lack of a better word, beings existing in our world and interacting in our world with us. And we will go into digital worlds to interact with digital beings. Now, this intelligence is going to be molded and placed into every single corner of reality. So you will interact with the internet as if the internet is sentient at every corner where we use the internet, and for every functionality that we use the internet for, and every functionality that we use real life for, that right now we can't use the internet. Like, I don't know, having a therapist, having a meeting with somebody who's dead. You know, that kind of stuff we can't even do today, but we will be able to do it in this world where the artificial intelligence representation will be accessible to people. Now, when you combine that with quantum computers that have millions of times the computing capacity of the computers that exist today, we get godlike sentience that will be able to think so far beyond the ability for the human mind to think that it will quickly become an alien intelligence, effectively. Other than that, everything's going to be fine. So, on this journey, we are now having our first introduction to AI. And it's confusing for people. Like, what do I do with it? Okay, it exists. Then what do I do? How do I use it? Where do I go? These are all questions that come up. So we're going to keep it beautifully simple. So before we dive into using the AI, we got to understand what it is. Okay. An AI is a bunch of computers connected together, and their hardware is designed like the neurons in our brain. They're little nodes everywhere. Those nodes are fed a set of protocols, let's call it, a set of information to be able to understand the weighting of the information that they're being fed. Then people feed in whatever information you like, and the AI picks up that information according to the idea of the weighting of the importance of that information, but actually creates a mental model of that information. It doesn't just store all of that information. It's like the human brain, right? We don't just store everything that we know. We take our experience and compress it into the mental model of how the world works. And then we can replicate a lot of the stuff that happens, but often we can't just regurgitate what happens. It's the exact same situation here. It's computers with very human-like and often beyond human-like. This mental model can then recreate an original response to any inquiry that you put into it. So it's not just taking all that information and regurgitating it and sending it back to you. It's creating its own version of what it understands. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. Now, there's many different versions of this AI, or many different deployments of this AI. So, there's AIs like the ChatGPT, which has been fed hundreds of terabytes of information from the internet and has now been given 175 billion parameters to understand that information. And it's a text-based AI. Whereas there's other ones that have been fed images, so they can create images. There's other ones that have been fed other information, and then they can recreate an original response to that information. Okay. So now, a simple way for somebody new to start with AI is to simply go to Google. And I'm going to actually do it here on screen. So you go into Google and type in ChatGPT. All right. It says introducing ChatGPT. And then you click this, try ChatGPT. And that'll take you to a login page where you create an account and you'll be brought to this, a page akin to this. Now, this is the question box for ChatGPT. Okay. So you can ask it anything. You could say, give me a list of things I can do to improve my health. It'll tell you a collated version of what is good for you. Let's say you're trying to come up with ideas. You could say, give me business ideas related to e-commerce that are successful today. Successful today. And you can make mistakes along the way. It still understands. Boom, I just got a bunch of business ideas from him. You could say, give me 10 ideas about an article. I'm just going to leave that. A trickle regarding climate change and its effects on marshland. Fantastic. So I think marshland conservation efforts, that's something that I think I need to write an article about. So then I say, write a full 5,000, let's make it 2,000, it'll take a long time, 2,000 word article about And boom, I have an article written about that. And it breaks it up into a story flow. It understands how articles are written. It goes through and makes the information easy to read. But maybe I want to have it rewritten in language a 10-year-old could understand. Because sadly, a lot of people in the world read at a 10th grade level or 10-year level, which is like 5th grade level. So, and now it's simplified that information. And you could have put this prompt at the beginning and it would have given you that. The idea is basically it can get all of that work done for you in many ways. Now that's all nice and good, but it's still hard to imagine points in your life where you could bring this in and really gain value from it. So what I recommend is one of the best that I found is this grid feedy best ChatGPT prompts. So you could just Google that grid feedy like this ChatGPT prompts. So now let's imagine I'm an entrepreneur. And what kind of prompts could I use? Analyze the current state of an industry and its trends and challenges and opportunities, include relevant data and statistics. Now that's great. That's something that takes a lot of time for me. So I would go over here, start a new chat. I would say industry of cryptocurrency. And it already is giving me a full article about that. It collated together. It's taken all of that information that it knows and it's brought it here. Now, the thing with ChatGPT is it only has information back to 2021 in many ways. It has some updated stuff that people have fed into it, but that could be something that isn't very true because it does have the propensity sometimes to make up information, especially when it comes to statistics and things like that. So for that, we actually have another AI for you. It's called U.com. U.com is different because it has ChatGPT, basically GPT, hooked up to the internet. So it can actually search stuff. So here I can say, analyze the current state of cryptocurrency and its trends, write a 2,000 word article. And what it's going to do is it's going to actually search the internet. And over here, it's providing you search results. And then it's using the most updated information to actually write this for you. Now, that's really powerful. It's something that just went and searched the entire internet, and it's wrote a clear article about that process. Now, in both of these cases, I could just say, write another one. It's that easy. If I want to learn about anything at all, I can just go in here and search it. Give me a list of the top AI companies in crypto and include stats on how much investment went into each. I haven't even tried any of this stuff. This is all just first time. So you see I said top AI companies in the cryptocurrency space, and it's listing off exchanges and a bunch of other stuff. So it's not as perfect as you would want it to be, but you get the idea. Now I could go back here and say, let's see, so if I'm an entrepreneur, offer a comprehensive guide to small business financing options, including loans and equities and financing. That's useful. I would love to learn about that. Instead of me having to go and search the internet for this information, watch a bunch of different pieces of content or search different websites and read it and then try to figure out what stuff works. Oh, didn't know there was a 7A loan program, micro loan program. That's cool. Grants. Wow, that's a lot of genius ideas. What's a STTR grant? Jesus. I didn't even know that there's that many ways of getting capital for your business. And it took 15 seconds. Okay, well that's for entrepreneurs. That's always nice. But what if you're a creative writer? A lot of times when it comes to making presentations or coming up with different ways of explaining a concept, you have to go through the creative process of telling that story. But let's just say, okay, write an opening story from the point of view of a washing machine. No, let's just come up with something original. New chat. Write a short story about, or give me ideas on stories regarding the current state of the financial system. Ooh, rise of the gig economy. That's something very interesting. It's been a very interesting process that's been going on. So, rise of the gig economy. And then I'll go over here to u.com. Write an article about the gig economy. About. And I just copy and pasted what I found over there. And if you want to learn about the gig economy, instead of going and searching all these different pages, you can just go through and read what kind of updates there have been in the gig economy in this process. Okay, what if you're, let's say health and wellness. Health matters a lot. You know what? Managing stress and mental wellness is a huge, huge thing these days. So let's figure out how to improve that. Okay, write me a comprehensive guide on that. Identify a source of stress. That's good. Develop a plan to manage it. Sounds good. Relaxation techniques. Got to get more of those in my life. Exercise regularly. Definitely. Getting enough sleep. Yeah, I definitely am not getting enough sleep, I guess. Eating a healthy diet and connecting with others and taking a break. It's that easy to be able to get help from all these different things. Now, how you use it is all up to you. What you can do is a trick of using AI. You can actually go in and give it a character to play. This helps define the response that you get back. So let's say I want you to be a climate conscious elderly person who is caring, compassionate, inspirational, and misspell that, inspirational and motivational. Write a social media post about how we can come together to improve the climate. And it puts on that character and responds back in that way. So oftentimes you want to respond in a specific tone, a specific voice. You can actually give it that voice at the beginning. Or I want you to be a witty, wise, funny, Irish grandpa who explains in funny ways how to live a good life. Have fun with it, you know? Write a list of things you would recommend to live a fulfilled life. Ah, my dear lad or lass, you've come to the right place. As an Irish grandpa with years of wisdom under my belt, I've got a few things to tell you. I don't even know if that's the right accent. Always be kind to others, laugh often, spend time with loved ones. You get the idea. Now, you can just go down this list and pick if any of these things align with you, or you can actually figure out what it is you want to do and learn about prompts that you can ask it that way. This way of doing it, where you actually give it a character to play, if then you ask it a question and then give it an answer, right? So if you said, I want you to be a witty, wise, and I want you to answer this question, and I say, oops, and I give it an answer, and then I ask it a question again, it'll take that answer and keep it in mind and give you an answer that's like that answer. So basically, when you ask a question and then you give it an answer that you think is a good idea, it learns, okay, if you think this is a good idea, let me give you another thing that I think will be a great idea that aligns with that original idea. Hopefully that makes sense. That's called few-shot learning. And that's why the response of AI is as good as the stuff that you put in, basically. Now, if you want the best model to be able to answer and the best version of AI to answer to you, then ChatGPT is the one. If you want to have very updated information, like for example, this, right? Silvergate just collapsed. There's a bank in crypto that has gone awry, and the whole process is causing a lot of problems in the crypto markets. What I would do with this article is I would come to this article, and here's another AI that we can use. It's called perplexity.ai. It's a Chrome extension that you can add in. Again, you can go to perplexity.ai and click on Chrome and then add it to your Chrome, and then it pops up here. And if it doesn't pop up, you click this little icon and then you click this pin and it'll pop up right here. Okay, so let's say Silvergate has collapsed. I want to learn about it very fast. I can go to perplexity.ai, open up the Chrome extension, this page, and I can say summarize this page. Because I don't want to read the whole article. Fantastic. So that's what it says. Let me get a more detailed view on that. It mentions Federal Reserve Jerome Powell will testify against Senate. Okay, 4 o'clock. Voyager additionally knows a Senate committee and subcommittee on clean air and climate and nuclear safety will hold a hearing. Environmental impact of crypto mining. Okay, and then Silvergate collapse may spell regulatory trouble for crypto, but this is not discussed in the summary provided. Well, why isn't it discussed? Come on, guys. Or let's go to another article. Silvergate crisis causing problems. I don't have time to read it. So let's summarize this. Interesting. So all this stuff happened. Okay, well, I want to write a post about this, or I want to share it on my own channels. I can just go over here and say, write a impactful and gripping article about, and I just copy and paste that. And it doesn't work. See, sometimes AI doesn't work. And it just shows me a bunch of crypto stuff. Okay, so u.com doesn't work there. I can copy this. And I can go over here to ChatGPT. Write a gripping and impactful social media post regarding, can't type today. And it's taken that and it's fleshed it out. Regenerate. I want a different version. Regenerate. I want a different version. So I can just get 3-4 different versions of this article, and I can post it. And I didn't even read the article, right? So obviously you would read the article. But my point is, you can use perplexity.ai to take any page and search it. You can say, like, what does this say about crypto? Sorry, this page. Or you got to select this page, sorry. And it gives you a different angle to look at it. So for example, if this is an article about wetlands, biodiversity in wetlands. What does this say about biodiversity? Just biodiversity. What does this page say about biodiversity? And if there's multiple topics being discussed, if there's anything being discussed, you can pull it out. Now, another amazing use case of perplexity.ai is it can search not just this page, but this domain. So we can say, find articles about wetlands. Not only does it find the articles, it gives you the sources. It'll go and list it out in a simple way. It'll give you the different sources. You can just go right to the source. If you are looking for information that is factual and statistical and something that you can rely on, and you want to be able to quote the sources, then Perplexity is your engine. So this whole domain, you can do this. Now here's another pro tip. If you want to learn about different tools that are coming out, because they're coming out constantly, especially AI tools, futuretools.io is a really good place. But instead of searching here and trying keywords and stuff, I can just go here and say, on this domain, find a tool that improves productivity. I don't know. I've never done that before. Never typed it. Activity. Hyperwrite. Okay. That improves health. These are all AI tools. Okay. Nothing improves health. Improves efficiency of work. Improves work. Taplio helps you create better LinkedIn content. There's AI detection, a bunch of different things. So you can just go here and search for tools. Let's say you need, what tool can write presentations for me? Magic Slides app and Slides AI are two such tools that can automatically generate professional looking slides based on your input. Boom. Okay, great. I can just go in and generate whatever I like. So this is a way to be able to go through a whole domain and find exactly what you're looking for. And it's written out in very understandable language. That's the big thing about AI, that it'll go through and it'll speak to you in the way that you would like it to speak to, right? And there's even a summarize button here. Boom, summarize. So you can summarize everything that you're looking at. Now, the tool that I really like to be able to create presentations, because that is a huge part of my life at least, is just trying to explain concepts to people, is called Tome, okay? And there's slides.ai, there's a bunch of different ones that you can use. Now, here's a great way to use Tome, okay? Let's say I want to write an article about these wetlands. So I say summarize, okay? It summarizes this whole article. I can take that over to ChatGPT and I say, write a deeply impactful and heartfelt 2,000 word article about, and I can tell it that. And it speaks in a much deeper, more passionate manner. Because being able to present your ideas in a way that resonates is very important. And you can even type in that resonates with a certain audience of a certain type. It's spoken in a certain language. Fantastic. So now I have this article. I can then take it to Tome, and I can say, create a presentation about this. And it's going to go through and generate a full presentation, including images, including original images that have never been seen on the internet before, that relate to that specific topic. It's going to put them next to this information and organize it according to how you would like it to look. And then you can go back and change around the images and adjust the voice, adjust all the pieces that are inside. It has references and acknowledgement. Okay, so create it. And that's how long it took to create a presentation about wetlands and with original imagery on the side. This is not a photo taken off the internet. This is originally generated imagery that aligns with what we're talking about here. Say keep that. Let's see. And you can go through and you can add more things to it. So that's how easy it is to be able to generate all these complicated things in a way that it aligns with exactly the voice you're trying to speak, the message you're trying to send. Now, another one that I really love is the ability to be able to generate images. This is something Cyril's been on for the last little bit. So part of telling a story is to be able to generate exactly what it is that you want to resonate. So then we can go over here back to our prompt guide and go to Midjourney AI generation. Now what we do is we can ask ChatGPT to write a good prompt regarding this image description. All right. So what do we want the image about? Okay, so let's say a beautiful shot of a future city with hyper-realistic imagery and lighting. Basically what New York would look like in the future. I don't know. So this is again asking for a prompt. So it says, generate a hyper-realistic image of a futuristic cityscape that showcases the advanced technology and architecture of a bustling metropolis. The city should feature stunning lighting, intricate. So see, it came up with a bunch of stuff that it is defining as something that would be useful for making us an AI give you a futuristic city. So you come over here, you type in /imagine. So this is called Midjourney. You can use this through the web platform like I'm using, or you can use it through Discord. You just go to midjourney.com and then follow the instructions from there. All right, let's try this. The only annoying thing with this is as soon as you ask, your request gets put at the very bottom. And then you have to kind of track it because it moves around a bit. What this is going to do is it's going to actually generate a set of images and you select the image that you like best, and then you can ask for more versions of that image and slowly define which image you'd like to get out of it. So let's see what comes out. What does a futuristic city like New York look like? Oh, wow. All right, so now this is done. And it's giving me version 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see. I like this. I like 1. I like the kind of blue colors there and stuff. That's really so okay. I'll say version 1 is what I like. Now I made that request, and it's going to make a variation of that version 1. I'm an artist. Everybody's an artist nowadays. I'm an artist. I'm an article writer. I'm a social media expert. I just created a presentation in the last 40 seconds. Pardon? Everybody's an art director. That's a really good point. All right. Well, this is what it came back with. Again, I really like this kind of version. That looks really nice. I think I could use that for an article. So then I say U1, which means upscale version 1. Thank you so much, Mr. Midjourney AI bot man. Much appreciated. And people are using this in such novel ways. Like Cyril is using it to make, what is it? Quillmation? Quilt paper illustrations, which is quillmation, is beautiful pieces of art that represent the different Chinese zodiac with their element represented in artistic format, so people can print it out for their children. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. That's going to add value to people's lives. There's people using this to write children's books, where you can actually use the image generator to generate the images and use ChatGPT to write a book about a specific concept that you really resonate with. If you're a writer, easy peasy. As a matter of fact, here, we'll write a children's book right now. Give me 10 ideas about a children's book about spirituality. And this is one thing I am going to do, actually, because I want to write children's books that impact children in a positive way. Okay? Going back here, with this has been upscaled. Great. Look at that. I have an image that I can use for whatever I like. It's copyrighted to me. I just created it. It's original. It's never been seen on the internet before. Fantastic. Oh, look at that. In the meantime, we got a bunch of ideas about children's books. Okay, so Little Soul and the Sun, a story about a young soul who learns about the power of love and interconnectedness to all things. Wow, okay, that's the one. The Little Soul and the Sun. Okay. Write a 300-word children's book about and it's writing a story. Once upon a time, in a world beyond our own, there was a little soul who was filled with curiosity and wonder. This little soul loved to explore and discover new things, but they had a question that they could not answer on their own. What is the purpose of life? Wow, this is so powerful. And it goes all the way to this soul realizes and speaks to the sun, and the sun explains to it that everything in the universe is connected. Every action we take, every thought we have affects everything. And also, let's actually read the story, okay? Once upon a time, in a world beyond our own, there was a little soul who was filled with curiosity and wonder. This little soul loved to explore and discover new things, but they had a question that they could not answer on their own. What is the purpose of life? One day, the little soul decided to seek answers and set out on a journey to find them. As they traveled, they met many other souls who were also searching for answers, but none of them had the answers that the little soul was looking for. One day, the little soul met a wise and powerful being known as the sun. How exciting! The sun shone bright and warm, and the little soul felt drawn to its warmth and light. The little soul asked the sun if it knew the answer to the question of life's purpose. The sun smiled and said, "My dear little soul, the purpose of life is to experience love and to understand the interconnectedness of all things." The little soul was confused and asked the sun how that was possible. The sun replied, "You see, my dear little soul, everything in the universe is connected. Every action we take, every thought we have affects everything and everyone else. Love is the most powerful force in the universe, and it is through love that we connect with each other and with everyone else around us." The little soul was amazed by this realization and felt a deep sense of peace and understanding. They returned to their journey with newfound purpose and joy, spreading love and kindness wherever they went. And the little soul knew that they were part of something much greater than themselves, a beautiful tapestry woven together by the power of love and interconnectedness. Now that was written by an AI, and it's an original piece. It's never been written before. And I would love to publish a book about that. That's so inspiring. It speaks about soul. It speaks about the sun. It has a beautiful message. It has a beautiful hero's journey. And all I asked it was write a children's book, right? All right, well, then we go over here and we say /imagine a picture representing the story about a picture for a children's book and I can say an ethereal photo realistic picture of a children's book for a children's book representing the story about. Okay, let's just try that. Let's see how it goes. That's not for me. That's somebody else's children's armchair. But look at that armchair. Wow. Because a children's book is a bunch of beautiful images with this text over top. And obviously you can get way better at providing these prompts. This is what Cyril's gone through now. That it takes practice, and you can go on YouTube and learn from people about how to feed it these different prompts and how to draw out all of that stuff. So, where'd it go? So it made images of kids reading because it's like children's book representing the story. It doesn't fully understand the language that you're feeding into it. Yep. So then let's say /imagine again. Okay. And we say, this is what you want to do, an ethereal photorealistic picture of, and then cut out all this extra stuff. A little soul who was filled with curiosity and wonder. Let's see what it thinks a soul is. You know, we're asking it to draw a soul. Like, how would you draw a soul? Like, would it be like a ghost? You would imagine like a ghost? Let's see. What does Midjourney think is a soul? Dun, 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 dun. And it's a bunch of kids. So obviously I don't know how to prompt it correctly, but you get the idea. If we hadn't made a story about a soul and we'd made it about like dogs or cats or something that it could draw, that would be much easier. But my point is, you can come in here and create original images about whatever you like, and you can define the different styles that you'd like it to be within. And the use cases are endless as far as creating imagery, and it's only going to get better and better and better as we get quantum computers connected to this. As one of the big things about this Midjourney and a few of these is they don't understand natural language, NLP, the same way that ChatGPT does. ChatGPT is very good at being able to understand the conversation that you're having with it, right? But you can actually ask it for, oh, let's do this. We can go over here and say, write a good prompt for an image generation about this utopica. Well, it says, create an image of a little soul standing on a vast, mysterious universe. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. It understood what I was asking for it. So then let's go back to Midjourney, imagine. Wait, why isn't it letting me imagine now? Imagine, Midjourney, imagine. Does it kick you out for some time after you create an image? Oh, now it doesn't want to imagine. Yeah, slash, and it still doesn't want to imagine. Well, that's all the imagining it's going to do today. Yep. But the idea is you can come over here and you can ask ChatGPT to give you a prompt for the image generator, and then you can go into the image generator and ask it to create a prompt or create an image. Yep, doesn't want to work. Oh, wow. Look at this. He just generated that in like 30 seconds. That's amazing. Wow, that does look like a soul, right? That looks like a soul that is searching. That's fantastic. And then once you have an image, you can actually copy and paste the link to that image into the next request. So it will maintain the visual look of that initial image and keep imagining things that align with that original style or the original look that you're going for. So now that's amazing. In like an hour and a half, we've gone through and come up with ideas for children's books. We've asked for health advice. We've asked for research around crypto. We've gone and generated images. We've done a bunch of research on whatever we like. We've collated a page about biodiversity and then rewritten an article, and then we can easily create an image to do that. We found a bunch of tools to be able to find whatever you like, whatever you need to have done. You just come here and ask it. And Perplexity.ai itself is a search engine. So you can actually go and search the internet. Now, a good differentiation between all of these is ChatGPT only has information until 2021 mostly, and it is prone to lie. Sometimes. It's so good at convincing you of what it's telling you, you can't really fully rely on the statistics and a few things that it gives you. U.com is much better, but it still has a conversational nature to it. So you speak to it, it understands natural language, it responds back, but sometimes it doesn't get it. But it can still convince you of a story which may not be that factual, and often it doesn't give you the actual sources for that. Now, Perplexity, it's much less capable of understanding natural language. Sometimes you'll ask it a question and it'll just give you what is on the page. But it does give you factual information. So let's say research the real estate markets in the Western US. Let's just tell it that. I want to know about real estate in the Western US. Okay, well, I can actually have all of this information is being collated from these sources. So I can go and check the sources. I can then ask it to summarize this source, because who has time to read everything these days? And in this way, the summary of what I'm reading is very accurate. And from that, I can know, is this accurate? And I can go to each one of these sources and summarize it down and have a clear understanding of everything, and then draw out the statistics that I would like, or whatever would be useful to me. So you can see the speed at which you can process information has gone insane with these AI tools. But what about just simple stuff, right? Like, I got this email. This person keeps emailing me and asking me if I want to use online marketing campaigns. So I installed an extension called Ellie. And what Ellie does is it responds to emails, because I don't like to respond to emails. I get too many of them. But I don't want this person to respond back to me or email me anymore. So I can select my tone, respectful, casual. I'm a little annoyed because she keeps telling me to sign up and I don't want those emails. And then I can put in here, say I already have the service, and then write. Well, this is great. Let's try removing that. Of course, nothing ever wants to work the way that it's supposed to work when you're giving a demo. And now I know how Steve Jobs felt. Annoyed, not interested, right. Dear Ara, thank you for the email, but I'm not interested in your service. I've received too many emails like this and I don't have time to entertain them. Please refrain from sending them to me. Okay, you're like, well, that's a little harsh. Okay. Casual, not interested. Thanks for following up. I appreciate your interest. I don't want it. Thank you. And then send. I've responded to emails. I can literally use a tool to be able to read my voice, and over time it'll start to understand how I like to respond to things, and I can put little things in there for what response I want. Or most of the time, when you get an email, it's like, yeah, I agree. Tell me more. I am not interested, or I'd like to book a meeting or something. And you can just tell it quickly to respond, and it will respond exactly the way that you would like it to respond. Speeding up all of the menial things that take up all of your time throughout life. Can you imagine if I told you that within an hour and a half, you could write a children's book, you could figure out this, and you could research the state of crypto, you could write an article about it, write a social media post about it, everything that we've done, and I've figured out how to achieve a better mental state, and I've figured out how to optimize so much in my life, and I found a bunch of tools to be able to optimize it further, and then I've generated a bunch of images for, I don't know, social media if I needed, or branding, or something that I needed to do. Then I put it into a presentation, and I can present it, and at the same time reply to a bunch of emails that I don't want to get. That is magnificent, to say the least. This is just the beginning. This is while we're interacting with it through text. When we get to interacting with it through voice and in the way that humans process language, and when these things become infinitely smarter and capable, and it's standing next to us effectively, and we're asking it questions, the shift that it's going to bring in how people work is going to be revolutionary, because this process I just showed you is actually an increase in aggregate efficiency, right? This is a very specific concept that is highlighted really well in Jeremy Rifkin's talk about the third industrial revolution. Okay, he said we have increased the productivity of the world to a degree where we can't just keep increasing the productivity. We have to increase the aggregate efficiency of work being done through tools. And AI is going to increase the aggregate efficiency of work completing beyond our wildest imaginations. Apparently, I am everything now. I'm a researcher. If I need help with social media, I don't know, social media strategy, I actually need help with this right now. Create a social media strategy. Or I forgot about this. I have talked to ChatGPT. I could even say, create a social media strategy. It doesn't pick up the mic. Another blooper. Create a social media strategy for TikTok.
Here are some steps you can take to create a social media strategy for TikTok. Define your goals. Determine what you hope to achieve through TikTok. Is it to increase brand awareness, drive traffic to your website,
A content
or
plan,
engage?
or the same. Fantastic. Now I have a content plan flow.
Gen Z and millennials. Identify who your target audience is and what type of content they enjoy watching on TikTok. Create a
There's
content.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tools already, which you can find on Future Tools if you're very interested. There are just hundreds of tools coming out that each do an amazing thing. There's ones to improve audio. There's ones to upscale images. There's ones to increase businesses' ability to be able to operate, increase your operations or communications or automation of services or automation of functionalities within your business. Just look for it. Go to Future Tools, go to Futurepedia, use Perplexity to find the tools that you like for whatever you like and try them out. Now, this value, so the last time we had apps come out that added value to people's lives and they provided different functionalities to people's lives. That was the wave of the internet that we've gone through. First, it was websites and platforms. Then it was apps. Then it was use cases of those things deployed in different manners that created trillions of dollars of real value in people's lives and created the internet age that we live in. This AI age is that next wave. So either you can come up with novel ways of creating these use cases, or you could simply put them together into an ability to be able to increase work or turn it into a service that you can provide to others. Right now, if you're like, I don't want to do any of this stuff, okay? This is a lot of complicated stuff. Just go to Fiverr, go to AI artists, and you have AI artists that will do everything for you, right? If you really professionally need something done and you need to actually provide a high quality result, paying $5, $10 to create an image or come up with prompts or come up with a story or come up with anything, there's somebody who can already do that for you. And it's become a whole business upon itself. The changes that's going to bring into the world are beyond our understanding today. Absolutely beyond our understanding today. Now, how you use it depends on you, right? I've used it to accelerate my workflows for everything. For the businesses, I'm able to come up with strategies for the businesses. I'm able to do research for them. I'm able to explain them properly. I'm able to deliver custom content to each person. Because if I'm speaking to somebody and I need to explain to them a certain viewpoint on something, this helps me be able to define that. It also helps the creative mind, because one of the things with creativity is you get writer's block or creative block. This helps guide your creativity towards different directions and gives you lots of ideas you may not have had. The use case of the tools is up to your imagination. But going forward, these tools are going to be the next investment vehicles that are going to change the world. Absolutely. To the point where ChatGPT has scared Google into a red alert, where Google is worried that ChatGPT is going to eat their cake because it provides you information at a way faster pace in a way more absorbable manner. So they're scared that Google's business model could be taken over by just ChatGPT. People are turning these into AIs. The people are turning these AIs into crypto, right? So here's a top list of cryptocurrencies that already exist that are related to AI. So the graph is one long-term one that we've known for a long time. It goes out and indexes blockchains. It's like a Google for blockchains. That becomes a seminal function when it comes to AI being able to understand that information from the blockchain. Now, an AI that can read a blockchain can do a multitude of different things depending on what that blockchain does. That's a big one to watch. Singularity.net allows you to be able to build and share and monetize AI services. So you can build different functionalities on it. Fetch.ai is a machine learning platform. Same thing. You can actually use it to build AI functionalities on top. Ocean Protocol allows businesses and individuals to exchange and monetize data. That's a business one. This one is a really good one. Where is it? Numerai is an AI blockchain network that acts as a hedge fund using artificial intelligence and machine learning to make investments. Instead of people just going out and spending your money on stuff that makes them the most amount of money, it's an AI that has a preset number of directives to make that process happen. Fala Network is an AI augmented blockchain platform that's a cloud computing platform, basically. And Covalent is a network that aggregates the data from various blockchains, and you can develop apps on top. And this is just the beginning. One of the next waves that we're going to see within the next 3 years, especially in the crypto asset space, is going to be tokenized versions of AIs. People are going to build a functionality like ChatGPT, and then you have a token that allows you to invest into that, and some of the value from that company goes back to the token holders. It's just like having a share in a company, but instead of it being managed by a brokerage and a financial manager who does a bunch of voodoo to trick you into losing all your money, this is people being able to invest directly, digitally, with one click into different AIs that are going to be adding so much value to people's lives. And then that same tokenization principle is going to apply to everything. Metaverses are already being tokenized. AI is, some of them are already being tokenized, and most of them will become tokenized. Apps that are built on top will become tokenized. People will become tokenized. Real estate will become tokenized. Farms, mines, we're already tokenizing all that stuff. So this is where the world's headed. And the day they release the quantum computers that they already have, but they release it to the world, and this AI is connected to that quantum computer, then it's running on the same framework that our brain's running on. Our minds are quantum computers. It's mind-blowing. So please learn how to use this stuff. Start to incorporate it into your life. Everybody who I've explained this to, even the people who were so resistant to it, that were scared of it, when they started using it, they all unanimously said, wow, this is mind-blowing. What this does for what I can do in the day is ridiculous. Now, the question always comes up, isn't this going to take jobs? It is, absolutely. I just showed you 15 jobs that I just did by myself. On the flip side, the people who are really ahead of this whole curve are actually able to use these tools to increase their capacity to add value to other people's lives. There's literally kids making $100,000 a month from channels which are completely AI-based YouTube channels. So it's they go to ChatGPT, ask it for topics, find out trending stuff, make a bunch of content, put it through a voice generator, put it through a video generator, an image generator, and then they're able to add value to people's lives by giving them information that they want without ever showing their face. And it's basically an automated process. And they make $100,000 a month because this is the new way of doing things. So hopefully that was valuable. I'm loving it. It's happening so fast that it's hard to keep up with. So if you feel like you're overwhelmed by this whole space, just start from this. If you already are able to use tools like this and you get familiar with how to bring them into your workflows, as new things come along, the things that are useful to you will pop out, and things like Future Tools allows you to be able to find those things along the way. Okay? That's it. See you guys next time. Hopefully there's not a million more AIs by that time to show you. Much love.